it's Miss Roosevelt, and I want to come in and give you 10 tips that will help you be able to manage any type of natural hair, from your loosest curl natural hair all the way up to the most tightliest coiled natural hair. Per Webster.com, manage is to handle or direct, to make and keep compliant, to treat with care. By nature, our natural hair tends to coil around itself, and without proper management, that coiling around itself can lead to tangles and a big knotted mess, and leaves you feeling like you just don't know what to do with your natural hair. Being able to manage your natural hair can make a world of difference. It can leave you feeling empowered, more confident to try different natural hairstyles. If not properly managed, our natural hair can leave us feeling overwhelmed, discouraged, disgusted, and can turn our natural hair journey into a natural safari. My first tip is to keep your natural hair moisturized at all times. From the smallest TWA to the longest natural hair, moisture, moisture, moisture is the key. Naturally curly hair doesn't allow the natural oils from our scalp to flow all the way to the ends of our hair. The oil just can't go around the coils. So it stops somewhere before it gets to the end of your hair, which can lead to dryness. So we have to supplement that dryness with products that we either make or buy over the counter. The simplest way to moisturize your natural hair is to spritz water on your hair from the ends all the way up to the scalp. Then add an oil of choice right on top of that water, and that helps to keep the water from evaporating so quickly, which will help your hair stay moisturized for hours at the time. And that process is called moisturizing and sealing. And you may have to moisturize and seal twice a day, morning and at night. It all depends on what your hair needs are. Number 2, always work in sections. Whether you're moisturizing and sealing, washing and conditioning, twisting, styling, whatever you're doing, if you work in sections, the task doesn't seem as daunting as when you just work with one big afro of hair. Also, when you're washing your hair in sections, that allows you to be able to get down to your scalp and cleanse it a lot better. It also helps you to be able to know when you've rinsed all the shampoo or conditioner out of your hair. Even if you don't think your natural hair is long enough, invest in some hair clamps. They're very inexpensive, and start working your hair in sections. Whether you're washing, conditioning, moisturizing, sealing, twisting, styling, whatever you're doing to your hair, you will see these clamps will make your task a lot easier. Number 3, develop a realistic natural hair care regimen for moisturizing and sealing, washing and conditioning, and styling. Whatever you're doing to your hair, it really helps it to be able to manage your hair when you know to do exactly what needs to be done to your hair. But make sure your regimen fits into your lifestyle. At first, your natural hair care regimen may need to be a little strict. You may need to know exactly the day that you need to wash and condition your hair. But as you start learning your hair, learning the needs of your hair, just knowing your hair, then you can relax the strictness of your regimen, because you will know exactly what your hair needs when it needs it. Number 4, sleep with your natural hair in either twists or braids or bantu knots or something to keep your hair sectioned off and not just going free. Remember, our natural hair tends to coil around itself. So while you're sleeping, and if your hair is just loose, your hair is going to start coiling around itself to cause tangles and knots. And when you wake up the next day, your hair is just going to be one big tangled mess. But if you sleep with your hair in twists or braids or bantu knots or anything to keep it in place, then the hair will be easier to manage the next morning. Number 5, sleep with a bonnet or scarf on your hair. That kind of keeps your hair in place while you sleep. Again, when we sleep, our hair can toss to and fro as we tumble, which can cause tangles and knots. So if you keep your hair in place when you wake up the next morning, it won't be such a big surprise when you wake up to see your hair. Sleeping with your hair covered also keeps the cotton sheets from robbing the moisture from your hair. Remember, moisture is the key to being able to really manage our hair. Number 6, elongate your curl pattern by stretching your hair. Really helps you to be able to manage your hair a lot easier. If your curl pattern is stretched, then that natural curl can't coil around itself as easily to create tangles and knots. There are numerous ways to stretch your hair, so you don't have to worry about using heat to stretch your hair. You can use it banding, threading, roller sets, twists, braids. All those type of things will stretch out your curl pattern and lead to an easier managed hair. Number 7, detangle your hair after every cleansing session. Whether you use a comb or you finger detangle, detangling is so important because it removes shed hairs and tangles and knots from your hair. You can use a conditioner and that will help you be able to detangle your hair so much easier. Detangling your hair will lead to much more manageable hair in the future, and it's a good place to set your hair for a stretched style. Number 8, if you're a wash and go person, you want to make sure your hair is detangled before you shingle product or rake product through your hair. Make sure your hair is detangled. That way you won't have tangles on the end or shed hairs hanging off the bottom of your hair. Detangling again is so important even if you are a wash and go type person. Detangling before you set your hair into a wash and go style will make it easier for when you get ready to start washing your hair and detangling it for the next time. Number 9, and this can be a little controversial, but sometimes we might need to keep our hair at a manageable length. I know long natural hair is beautiful hair. We all get excited about having long natural hair, but let's face it, not all of us have the time, energy, and patience to deal with long natural hair. Sometimes if you have your hair in a nice diva cut or some type of shorter cut style, it's easier for you to manage. You won't get frustrated and just feel overwhelmed with dealing with your natural hair. Number 10, invest the time if you want beautiful, manageable, natural hair. You have to set aside the time to be able to do what your hair needs for you to do to it. Again, with following a regimen, it will help you be able to know exactly what you need to do to your hair. If you know your hair, your regimen doesn't have to be as strict because you will know exactly what your hair needs. So these are just 10 tips to help you manage your natural hair, no matter the type of natural hair that you have. Now, I do have a comment section down below, so if you have a natural tip that you would like to share, please put it in the comment section. I would love to be able to read it as well as the other viewers. I'm sure they will benefit from your comments. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.